Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am so excited to have our coach. She is an upcoming coach with me today. Her name is Assia, right? I got it right? Tell me I got it right. Correct? We're having a little delay, I think.
Assia.
Assia, yes, Assia here with me. I am so
Yes,
excited to have
Assia.
her. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm so excited to have you with me today, Assia, because your transformation is truly,
Yeah. I
truly.
lost you for a second.
Yes, something is happening with the internet, so we have to see if this is going to work. Are you able to change the location so we can get a better location for you?
Oh
The
man, I've
internet's
lost you. Yeah.
the, inter- the internet's not working. So, yes, the internet is not working right now. So, if you want to join from another location, that would be helpful. I'll just get it started here and then join me from another location because the
Okay.
internet is slow, so it's delaying. So while we wait for her to come back, we'll get started. Today, I want to talk about now and here and the future. So, how many of us are always thinking about the past? And we have to be honest, right? Because a lot of the time we think we're not thinking about the past, but our brain likes to take us to the past and make us think about it all the time. And usually, when we think about the past, I wish to say we think about the good things, but majority of the time, it's usually something that it wants to beat us about, right? It's something that I should have done it, could have done it. Why didn't you do it this way or that way? So then I'm stuck in that past, replaying something I have no control of correcting, and I'm just stuck. So can you see why that's not a resourceful state? Because if I'm stuck in the past, am I here now and here to do something about it? No. So, what can we do about that? Only thing we can do is take the lessons from the past and we have to let go. Because if I keep thinking about that past, I'm stuck. I'm not here to do anything. In this moment is where we can do anything. We can learn, we can live, and we can lead ourselves and others. So that's what only thing we can do with the past is let it go. But take the lessons whenever you can. Now, the another place that we love to go and think about is the future. So the future is great. We should all think about the future. But unfortunately, if I project the past and think about the future, then I'm looking through all the past mistakes. What am I doing in the future? I'm recreating something I don't even want. Because why would I want something that in the past I'm not even I wasn't even proud of? I want to create that in the future. That doesn't make any sense, right? But our brain likes to do this, likes to create this in the future. So, what can I do with the future? I can set some intention for the future. Of course, we should all have intentions. I never set goals, I set intention. But then we have to really bless the future and release it because we don't have any handle on the future. That's one thing that we have no idea what's going to happen, right? We know it's available to us, but we cannot predict or really think we have control over our future. So we really need to bless it and release it. So if I release the future and if I let go of the past, look what happens. I have both of my hands free, which means I can focus in this moment. I can bring myself here and now. And this is the moment we can learn, we can live, and we can lead. Let's see if Coach Asia can hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better.
Okay, perfect. We settled. The internet settled. I like it. So I want to bring you back because I want to really do the grounding is to really, after we talk to our brain like this and not allow ourselves to be in the past or in the future, because both of those places are using up our energy, but it's useless, right? But here and now, it's very resourceful right here. So in order to do that, another thing we always do, right, is to breathe. I know everyone says breathe. I'm always breathing. I know we think we're breathing, but we are not breathing the way that we are supposed to, right? That is taking deep breaths that goes into every cell of our body. So let's do that. Let's inhale for 4, Hold for 4. And when you're holding it, send it to every part of the body that you never even noticed. You forgot about. Maybe your lower back, maybe your upper neck, like wherever you want to send that air to, just circulate that air because that's abundance. And then we're going to gather everything we don't want from our body and we're going to let it go for 8. Our body is not a storage place and our body is not a garbage dump. It's a beautiful place where we need to store only the good things. But unfortunately, we store stress, fear, anxiety, right? All sorts of stuff. But that's not what our body's for. So let's inhale abundance. Hold. And then let go everything and anything that you don't need in your body that you've been holding and holding and holding for months and days, and you just feel stuffed. Let it go. Again, one more time. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. And really exhale for 8. So, have you done that type of breathing? I bet not. Because I don't even do it unless I intentionally, right? None of us do it.
Right. You're,
Yes.
we
So
are
it's,
remembering to do that. That's very key. It's key. It's key,
yes.
especially when you're, especially when you're, you go on your daily life and you're just on this automatic mode, and then you forget, and it takes practice to remember, right? And it does so good when you actually can breathe and release some things. So
Yes.
it's so helpful, so helpful.
So I was excited to have you today because your journey, you're, coming into my world, into our world, and becoming a holistic neurogrowth success coach. I just feel your transformation is just outstanding. So I want to share that. So tell us, when you came into this program, what were you thinking?
Oh no, you cut out for a second. What was the last part of the question?
I said, when you came into the program, what were you thinking this program is going to be like?
Well, I had just left my classroom job, and felt really sad about it, and really wanted to do something about it. And then I ran into your video, and it made a whole lot of sense, and how we can help children today and what's happening, the crisis that we are facing in the education system. So it sounded something that made total sense, and something that's long term, because as educators, every year there's some new program, there's some new this, and let's try that. And it just wasn't working with what's happening today with kids. And so when I saw what you had to offer, I said, no, this makes more sense. This makes more sense. This is long term. This is something that kids can learn from themselves. And so that's what attracted me to what you were offering for your program.
Beautiful. And when you started, Asya, like what were you you had you want to share with us, like what were you struggling with in your personal life?
When I got into program, I wasn't even considering sharing what I was going through, the major thing. Of course, I shared what, everyday people go through, and the stress of being a teacher today and what's happening. But I didn't expect what it did for me. I've suffered with chronic anxiety for 25 years. And I just resigned to the fact that this is something I was going to live with, because I'm very research oriented, and I've looked and looked and looked and how I can relieve this anxiety, and nothing worked. You know, as I shared with you, I'm not a medication person. I did everything that you're told to do externally to alleviate your anxiety. And never did I think that this could totally like get rid of it. And it was so simple. And I couldn't believe how simple it was, you know, something it was like, why did I not know this before? Why did not more people know about this? This is something that you can take care of just by understanding your nervous system. So I didn't expect that at all. That was just, it was a nice surprise. It was a huge surprise. So,
Yes.
yeah, that was just it. I just couldn't believe it. You remember, I was in tears. I just couldn't believe how easy it was. Just by regulating your nervous system, you can alleviate anxiety.
Yeah, but
Chronic
more
anxiety,
important.
25 years of
Yeah,
anxiety.
that's right. That's right. So, do you think if you take that headphone, do you think it'll work better? What do you think? I'm getting an echo from it. Can you take the headphone and see if it works
I'll,
with that?
yeah, sure,
Let's try
sure.
that. Let's try that. I want to see what happens.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, and hold on 1 second. Try that. I want to see what
Okay.
happens. Yeah, and hold on 1 second.
Okay.
So this is really a live show. So we have to
So
fix
this is
things
really
on
a
the
live
spot.
show. So we have to fix things on the spot.
Oh my
Hold on,
goodness.
hold on, hold
We
on.
could do this.
Now I'm echoing. Now I'm echoing. So
Now
guys,
I'm echoing.
bear with me
Oh,
because we're
I-
just trying to
Guys,
figure out.
bear
Maybe
with
put
me
back
because
the
we're just
headphone
trying
and
to
see
figure
what
out.
happens.
Put back
My fault.
okay, I'll put it back
my
on.
phone.
Oh my
Thank
goodness.
you, thank you, thank you. Yes, Lori says the
Thank
sound
you.
is fine. It's just inside here it's happening for me. That's why the problem is. Okay, how is it now?
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, you're still
Can you hear me now?
okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I
How
can
about
hear
you?
you.
Okay, perfect. I think we're on now. Okay. So take us back. How was living with anxiety was like for you when before you started this program? What was the day like for you? Living with anxiety.
You know, the best way I can describe it is imposter syndrome.
Mm,
You know, I did not want anybody to know how I felt internally. It was my personal war inside, and there was no way that I was going to let anybody know, you know, especially at work. Of course, family members knew, but especially at work, I didn't want anybody to know. And it was a constant daily thing of control. You know, if I can control uh, how I work and how I perform, how I speak, then nobody will know how I feel internally. So it was exhausting, you know, keeping that facade. You know, I mean, there was days that I felt okay, but generally speaking, it was a weekly thing. And you know, when I did feel anxiety, I just kept a smile at my face. And like I said, it was my internal battle.
And
turning back internal battle why I felt flawed. I felt flawed. And mhm, go ahead.
and so you never told nobody ever, you never shared with people how much you suffered internally.
No, nobody ever knew. I mean, I was always told, like, you always have it so together and you always know what you're doing. And inside I'm like, oh my gosh, you have no idea. I just, like I said, I made sure that I always appeared a certain, kept my to-do lists, everything done correctly. It was exhausting. It was exhausting. And yeah, and nobody could tell. I didn't share it with anybody at work. Even if I became close with a colleague, I still didn't share it with anybody.
Yes.
Like I
So
felt hugely flawed.
and 25 years of this.
Yeah. And I just, like I said, I resigned the fact that it's just something, there's a glitch in your brain, it's hormonal, or, they give you all these reasons and push medication on you. And this is something that you're just going to live with. So I just resigned the fact that it's just something I had idea. No idea that I was going to find a solution. Mm-mm.
Yes. So what was it like living in, you said imposter earlier. What was it like living in with that imposter syndrome on top of this anxiety that's causing it?
It kept me, I had an interest in coaching years ago, and it kept me from it. I just felt too insecure. And how can I coach people if I'm feeling this way? And I tried, but it didn't last long. It didn't last long at all, because I just, you know, people are going to see through it. How can I help people? I can't even help myself. And so I didn't go for what I actually wanted to do. It stopped me in my tracks. Like you know, I, I would make excuses. Oh, this is, in my life is a way, or this is in my way, and I just couldn't pull through it. I just couldn't.
Mhm. And you said when you said yes to this program, did you know that first part of the program was for you to work on yourself?
Oh man, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, there's just a bad connection. I don't know what's happening, but it never happened like this. But I just said, when you signed up for this program, did you know that the first part of the program is always working on yourself first?
Well, no, I didn't know that was going to happen. As we got into the program, like, okay, that makes sense, because that was one of the problems that I had when I tried coaching on my own. Like, I feel like I couldn't do it because I can't even, you know, figure out things for myself. Of course, and then I thought, okay, it's going to help us get ready, fully understand the program, so that we're able to help other people, because we went through it with ourselves. But no, but I didn't expect that in the beginning. But
Yeah.
as we went through it, it totally made sense that why we do. I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, it's really important for the coach to have the conviction that you have now in order to serve others. And that's why a lot of coaching programs fail. The coachee is because they don't have the conviction. And as a holistic success coach, we can have coaches representing themselves as a holistic neurogrowth success coach who doesn't have the conviction. Now, look at you. You've got rid of your 25 years of anxiety when you coach somebody. when somebody has anxiety, you know the conviction and confidence that you will have to get them results, right? So that's powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Very powerful. And and not only that, I can 100% feel compassion towards them because I'm like, I know how that feels. I know it. I went through it. You can do too. Anybody can do this
Hmm.
because it's the most natural thing that you can do.
Yes.
It's just a matter of I had no idea that this can be done. It's just a matter of knowing,
Yes.
right?
It's
And
awareness.
sharing that information. So I shared it with family members I know who have anxiety, friends that have anxiety. I showed it to everybody.
Yes. But more importantly, you have to create, you have to
That's
create
close
the,
to me.
yeah, more importantly, you have to create the container for it. It's you said earlier that it's just working on the nervous system. That's not true because it's more than that, because it was all multiple systems that need to be unblocked and aligned and activated. It feels like nervous system because that's what you were attacked on mostly, right? Because anxiety is
Hmm.
nervous system overdrive. You're in flight or fight mode, right? Like it's like something's danger, 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 right? So for you to just feel
Hmm.
that for after 25 years, it felt like a release, right? It's a relief, it's a release. Finally.
Yeah. No, finally, a huge one because that was the one that was most urgent with me. Of course, the program is so much more than that, but
Yes.
that was the one that was in my that to be free and look at other areas of my life that I was not able to because that was the focus, right? That was what was standing in my way.
Yep.
So yeah, I learned a lot about myself once those things were free. My head was so yeah, most definitely.
Yep. Can you hear me? The
Yeah,
internet.
now I can.
Yeah, internet's very bad. It's not on my side. It must be on your end. I think we
It's
got into a nice
I don't
time.
know what's happening.
Yeah, I know normally your
Okay.
internet.
Yeah, normally my
Definitely.
internet's
And then I
fine.
have Lori here. She said her, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I have now put on though I was wireless, but now I've been connected my wire to it, so I don't see what else I can do. So it must be on the other side. If the audience are hearing it, that's perfectly beautiful. So Lori said her son was like that as well with anxiety, right? Many people facing anxiety live under that constant this pressure, right? And then when it releases, it feels good, right? So what
Mhm.
was costing you that anxiety when you lived with that anxiety? What was the cost of it? What are some of the cost of living with that type of anxiety 24/7 for 25 years?
You know, just feeling tired. Uh, uh, like I said, there's moments where I just accepted it, but frustrated, and very hard on myself
Hmm.
because I and doing the research and taking care of their health and their body. And I would get so frustrated with myself, like, why can I not figure this out? I don't understand why I can't figure this out. Because there was a time in my life where I didn't have it. So why can't I return to when I didn't have it? I should be able to figure this out. So I was very hard on myself.
Yes.
So just the fatigue, being tired, and um, falling on you. It's you have this conversation, if only I could get rid of this, if this could go away, then I can do this. So you have conversations like that with yourself.
Yeah, it's a constant conversation in your head about what you can do, what you cannot do. How do I get out of it? How do I mask it? How do I hide it? How do I explain it? It's a living. It's kind of a, you're
Mhm.
living within yourself 24/7 too, inside of your head, trying to figure stuff out, right? So it's a burden for sure.
It is a burden, and that's why I didn't want to show it to anybody, because then that would be more exhausting to explain things,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So I just kept it to myself,
And then you learn to hide it.
when it came to place and everything. It's just easier to do it that way.
And you learn.
And you also think that nobody's going to understand, because I know there's people out there that suffer anxiety, and it's different for everybody. So you think they're just not going to understand, and you don't want to look bad. You have a fear like, oh, they know that I have anxiety. Maybe they won't trust me fully. Maybe they'll think that I can't handle things, right?
Mm.
And you fear that in the workplace. You fear that, and you don't want to look at, oh, she has anxiety, so let's not put too much on her. That would have been a nightmare for me.
So you
So
had
I
to
kept things
compensate,
to myself.
and also you compensated, overcompensate to prove your worth.
Yes,
So you
exactly.
you are mostly living exhausted. So
Exactly.
that was exhausting.
Absolutely. It was just tiring. Like I said, that when you're always trying to control things, it's not sustainable after time. After a certain point, you're just tired. You don't want to do that anymore.
Makes sense.
And having that in the combination of what was happening at school, like I couldn't take it more. Something had to give. So I left my profession.
Yes. So that's when we met. Now you went through our Flow Foundation. That's 8 weeks of working on yourself first, so that you can have the conviction to serve others with full integrity, right? Because otherwise you're going to have that imposter syndrome showing up in your business, right?
Mhm.
Sneaking in there as well. Now that you don't have your anxiety anymore, you're living anxiety free for the first time. Now you chose to become a coach. Now, how excited are you
Mhm.
to help others?
I'm so excited because I know what it feels like, and I want to tell people that they don't have to feel that way. Like, I want to share that with everybody, that it's not necessary to suffer this long. You can rely on yourself. Like I said, one of the major things that I felt is I felt flawed,
Hmm.
and I wasn't flawed. I just didn't know what I needed to do.
Yeah.
And that was very painful.
Yes.
Very painful, thinking that, I'm a flawed person,
Hmm.
you
Yeah,
know,
that's a sad way
and
to.
and I didn't think that I could, yeah, I didn't think I could rely on my body. My body is flawed, it's a little weak. When I saw that I could, my confidence went through the roof. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
Mm.
And that internal battle ended because I looked at
Mm.
my system differently now. My system is there to work for me.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, this conversation would have been
And
so much more powerful if our
like I
internet.
said, my confidence went so.
Yeah, our internet is not cooperating today at all. So I need to rebook our coach again because it's not It's so bad. So we'll test then, we'll see we were in flow. We continued. We didn't lose it. So we are going to wrap up today, but I really want Coach Asia to share her journey because it's powerful and it's everyone should hear about it because suffering from something for 25 years and getting rid of it in 8 weeks, it's profound. And she did it because the program itself brings you back home first, home meaning this home right here. And by coming home here, you're able to then look at what's happening to you from another perspective first. And then by system, we can align the systems and activate the system to get the results that she has. Now she's going to become a coach so that she doesn't have to coach others from this worry, am I good enough? She already knows she is. She already felt the results. So no better coach than her now, right? She's the best coach you can ever have because she knows how you're going to feel and have that compassion, like she said. So I'm going to bring her back again because I want to ask her so many questions. I had a list of questions. I can't ask her because we are talking like from 2 different planets right now. So it's not really working, but I love her energy. Thank you for sharing openly about your transformation. And I want to ask so many different questions. Let's check your side of the
Thank
internet,
you.
and we'll bring you back again another time soon, like in the next few days, because I want to really, really people to hear what you have gone through.
Absolutely. It could be because it's raining here. It could be that.
Something's not wrong. Yeah, it never happened like this. So it's not the day for it, but we're gonna stay in flow. We're gonna come back again, and we're gonna do it again. That's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for coming. We will continue. We will
Yes.
continue. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lori, for your comments, and I will see you guys tomorrow on another show.
All right. Thank you.